All right. So one of the most exciting things going into this year is obviously the opening of the new team training facility, which is going to be off Carboy. And I know there's been a lot of questions around that, not only about when it's going to open, what it's going to look like, all that good stuff, but then also how it's going to impact our off-season training program. So Matt, you want to dive into that one?
Yeah, I am excited because we're finally to the point where we're moving again. So there's been a lot of questions. When can we see it? When can we get in there? And understandably so, we hit a construction snag that pretty much stopped us in our tracks for 2 months. Not in the area that we're going to be training in, but we actually are renting out a small portion of the facility to Park Ridge Baseball. And in their area during some demo, we found some very large beams that are not coming out. But that halted the process on our end because it prevented us from getting our turf down, because they're going to have to move some machinery over our area to help remove some of the stuff from that area. But as of this week, we're back on track. I was in there yesterday. Actually, turf should be going down today, is my understanding. Cages have been up for a couple months. But that new facility is 27,000 square feet. It will have a total of 8 cages plus a fixed pitching area that's about 70 by 20 and then 20 feet tall. Plus a 2-floor weight room on a steel mezzanine. That's part of the facility. So it's going to add a whole lot more opportunities for our athletes and for our trainers to get done what they need to do. Also, with the merging of the youth and the high school program, it opens up the doors for a lot of different time opportunities so that the high school program isn't pigeonholed into the time slots that it had been in the past. It's kind of the agreement that we had between the Indians and play ball in the past, that the high school teams always have these time slots year after year after year. Well, now that we're bringing everything together, we can merge the time slots that some of the youth teams used, some of the high school teams use, so that rather than saying the high school guys have to come, in that 8, 9, 10 o'clock time slot. Well, now if it makes more sense for some of our high school guys to come between 4 and 6, some guys can come right after school. Some guys can still come late at night. Some of the families that might have trouble on the youth end coming right after school now have the opportunity to go later in the evening. And so what we're going to do then is offer it in series of our major programs. So Chris Michaels, who a lot of you are familiar with, has had incredible success with his Aces Academy program. So we're going to be running that, and that's going to be open at different times throughout the week to our high school and our youth guys. Same thing with my Power Surgers program that we've run for years. And now we're going to add a catching program and a defensive program. And the thing I'm most excited about is we're bringing on full-time strength and conditioning coaches that are going to be partnered with the head coaches of those skill-specific sets to do strength and speed work that's going to couple into those programs. So while the boys are there getting their hitting work or their pitching work, they're going to be working hand in hand with one of our strength coaches to do the functional exercises that are going to help them work on specifically what they're doing that day on the skill side. So we're partnering all that up. That's all going to be built into what we offer as the a la carte options, in addition to the team practices that we run on Sundays. So lots of new things going to be done totally different, but we're going to make sure that we still offer the same things that you guys are used to. In our eyes, we're just looking to beef them up and take it to a new level. So that, to me, is the most exciting part.
Yeah, it sounds like we're returning to our roots a little bit, as far as creating that family-like culture and atmosphere, and something that I know that we've always prided ourselves in, that in the past couple of years we've gotten away from a little bit just because of all the moving pieces and like you said, the agreement between ITB and play ball. But I'm excited to what it looks like, or for what it's going to look like, and can't wait to bring my own son in there and have him be a part of it.
Yeah, and you take into account too, we're going to do the open gyms this year too. That's something that we haven't done in the past. And a lot of, on my side, on the Dodger family side in the past, people have asked, why don't we just shut down the whole facility? Why don't we get to use it? And the tough part has always been, well, how do we get times or enough times where it makes sense to shut it down and be able to get big groups of people in there at one time? And now we have the ability where we're going to do 8 different open gym hours throughout the week. And we're going to open that up to the whole program. So we're going to shut down that new facility. And we're actually, Nelson talking about the culture and the family atmosphere. We're going to have 10-year-olds in there taking ground balls to 17-year-olds. We're going to have 16-year-olds working hand in hand with our 14-year-olds. We're going to have the older guys showing the next generation what it takes to be successful at that higher level. But then in turn, what I love about having the older guys work with the younger guys is they have to become better players and coaches in themselves to help hand that down to the next guy. So it's It's benefits from both ends. It's going to pull the entire program together. It's going to give our coaches the opportunity to work hand in hand with as many players as possible. So there's more familiarity on that side. Like you talk about all the different things with the facilities and the programs, but to me, that is really the most exciting part, bringing us back to something that is going to be really cool when everyone gets to see it come together. So lots to be excited about.
Nice. And in the words of every baseball player out there, let's go.